The United States is the largest arms exporter in the world. They account for about 50% of global arms exports. Currently, the largest buyers of American weapons are Israel, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Turkey, South Korea, Qatar, Poland, and more than 40 other countries. The total volume of weapons sold per year is more than $200 billion. The United States sells major types of weapons, equipment, and electronics. American weapons are technologically advanced, quite reliable, but at the same time expensive. As a rule, weapons with limited capabilities are exported, compared to what the United States has. The Trident II submarine-launched ballistic missile has been in service with the United States since the 1990s. Its maximum firing range is more than 11,000 kilometers. The warhead includes 4 nuclear units of 475 kilotons in TNT equivalent each. The launch mass of the missile is almost 60 tons. In the USA, Trident II missiles are used by Ohio-class submarines. In addition to the United States, missiles are in service with the United Kingdom, where its carriers are Vanguard-class submarines. The F-16 is the most widespread fighter in the world. It has gained popularity due to its versatility and relatively low cost. There are a large number of its modifications. The maximum takeoff weight of the fighter is approximately 22 tons. The crew is 1 or 2 people. The maximum speed is more than 2,000 kilometers per hour. The flight altitude is more than 15 kilometers. The combat radius is up to 1,700 kilometers. Weapons include air-to-air and air-to-surface missiles, guided and free-falling bombs. In total, more than 4,500 aircraft have been produced, which are in service with 25 countries, including Egypt, Turkey, Israel, Pakistan, South Korea, Poland, and others. At the expense of American taxpayers, the fighter is supplied to Ukraine. The most widespread military transport aircraft in the world is the American C-130 Hercules. The aircraft's payload is about 18 tons, and the maximum takeoff weight is about 80 tons. The flight range is more than 5,000 kilometers. An interesting fact is that the aircraft can land and take off from an aircraft carrier. The aircraft is in service in more than 50 countries, including France, India, Turkey, Egypt, Pakistan, and others. The HIMARS missile system combines the capabilities of an MLRS and an operational tactical missile system. The MLRS variant can use 227mm rockets, including guided missiles with a range of up to 150 kilometers. Combat equipment is 6 missiles. In the variant of the operational tactical missile system, it uses 1 ATACMS missile with a range of up to 300 kilometers or 2 PRSM missiles with a range of up to 500 kilometers. The combat vehicle can be transported by transport aircraft. HIMARS is purchased by 10 countries including Poland, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and others. 20 countries are planning to buy this system. In addition, the United States supplies a missile system to Ukraine free of charge. The F-15 fighter, designed to gain air superiority, has a maximum takeoff weight of more than 30 tons, with a crew of 1 or 2 people. The speed is more than 2,500 kilometers per hour. The flight altitude is up to 20 kilometers. The combat radius is approximately 1,300 kilometers. The fighter's armament includes a wide range of aviation weapons for operation both by air and on the ground. In addition to the United States, the fighter's operators are Israel, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Singapore, and Japan. The F-18 multi-purpose fighter, designed as a carrier-based aircraft, has a maximum takeoff weight of 24 tons, a maximum speed of about 2,000 kilometers per hour, a flight altitude of 15 kilometers, and a combat radius of 720 kilometers. The fighter's armament is represented by a wide range of air-to-air and air-to-surface classes. In addition to the United States, it is in service in Australia, Spain, Canada, Kuwait, Malaysia, Switzerland, and Finland. The newest F-35 fighter jet, created by the United States in cooperation with other countries, has low visibility and advanced electronic equipment. There is an option with a shortened takeoff and vertical landing. The maximum takeoff weight is about 30 tons. The maximum speed is about 1,900 kilometers per hour. The flight altitude is 18 kilometers. The combat radius is about 1,000 kilometers. The fighter's armament can be placed in internal compartments. The basis of weapons are guided missiles and bombs. It is in service with Great Britain, Australia, Israel, Denmark, Japan, the Netherlands, Italy, and Norway. The AWACS E-3 Sentry aircraft is essentially a flying radar for monitoring the air situation and controlling the combat formations of fighter aircraft. The aircraft can stay in the air for up to 11 hours. The practical altitude is about 11 kilometers. The detection range of aerial targets is approximately 400 kilometers. The crew consists of 4 people and from 11 to 19 operators. A total of 69 units were produced. In addition to the United States, Great Britain, France, Saudi Arabia, and the United Armed Forces of NATO are in service. The main battle tank Abrams has undergone several upgrades during its existence. The tank has a combat weight of more than 60 tons. The armor thickness is up to 1,200 millimeters and can be supplemented with active and dynamic protection. The crew of the tank is 4 people. The engine power is 1,500 horsepower. The speed on the highway is up to 70 kilometers per hour. The range is up to 480 kilometers. The tank's armament consists of a 120mm smoothbore cannon and 2 machine guns. The latest modification has an independent gunner's sight and a commander's panoramic sight with image output to high-definition displays. It is possible to fight with the same efficiency both day and night. More than 10,500 tanks have been produced over the entire time. In addition to the United States, Abrams is in service with Australia, Egypt, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Morocco. The tank is supplied to Ukraine at the expense of American taxpayers. The Patriot anti-aircraft missile system has a firing range of up to 150 kilometers. The deployment time is about 25 minutes. It can simultaneously track up to 125 targets and fire at 6 of them. The combat use of the complex has not shown very high efficiency, especially against ballistic missiles. The system is in service with Germany, Greece, Jordan, Spain, Kuwait, Qatar, the Netherlands, and Japan. It is supplied to Ukraine at the expense of the Americans. The Apache combat helicopter has a crew of 2 people, a pilot and an armament operator. The maximum takeoff weight is about 10 tons. The speed is up to 300 kilometers per hour. The practical flight range is about 400 to 600 kilometers. The helicopter's armament consists of a 30mm automatic cannon, anti-tank guided missiles, and rockets, as well as anti-aircraft guided missiles Stinger to combat aerial targets. The helicopter was actively used in a number of military conflicts, starting with the Iraq War in 1991 and ending with the invasion of Yemen. It proved to be quite effective. Nevertheless, at least 11 cars have been shot down in Yemen alone since 2015. The helicopter is in service in more than 10 countries, including the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Greece, Israel, India, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Japan, and others. The Black Hawk multipurpose helicopter has a payload mass of about 4 tons with a maximum takeoff weight of more than 11 tons. The speed of the helicopter is up to 300 kilometers per hour. The practical range is about 600 kilometers. The flight altitude is up to 5,800 meters. The helicopter has about 30 modifications and is in service in 29 countries, including China, Israel, Egypt, Turkey, Kazakhstan, Japan, Ukraine, etc. The Bradley IFV has a crew of 4 people and can carry 6 infantrymen. There are 5 modifications. The combat weight is up to 34 tons. The speed on the highway is up to 66 kilometers per hour. The engine power is 500 horsepower. The armor allows you to withstand 30mm projectiles in the forehead and large-caliber bullets on the sides. The armament of the IFV consists of a 30mm automatic cannon, machine gun, and Apache ATGM. It is in service in Saudi Arabia, Greece, Lebanon, and Croatia, and it is supplied to Ukraine at the expense of the Americans. The Apache ATGM has 12 modifications with various guidance systems and ammunition. The firing range is up to 3,800 meters. The weight is almost 100 kilograms. The missile's flight speed is subsonic and is approximately 300 meters per second. Armor penetration up to 900 millimeters of homogeneous armor behind dynamic protection. The system is in service in more than 50 countries, including the United Kingdom, Germany, Turkey, Finland, Canada, and many others. Another ATGM exported is Javelin. Its feature is the ability to fire on the principle of fire and forget. The firing range is about 3,000 meters. The mass is 22 kilograms. It is possible to launch a missile in a straight and descending trajectory. The armor penetration is 600 millimeters of homogeneous armor. The system is in service in more than 20 countries, including the United Kingdom, the United Arab Emirates, Australia, Ukraine, Georgia, and others. This is not a complete list of weapons exported by the United States. At the same time, despite the absolutely self-sufficient military-industrial complex, the United States also buys weapons from other countries. So the American version of the British attack aircraft with a shortened takeoff and vertical landing Harrier is in service with the Marine Corps. The Israeli Iron Dome anti-missile system, which has shown sufficiently high efficiency, is being purchased in limited quantities by the U.S. Army. And the command of the Special Operations Forces buys the Swedish Carl Gustaf anti-tank grenade launcher, which has a better range and accuracy than its national counterparts. The U.S. Border Guard Service uses Israeli Hermes reconnaissance drones because of their significantly lower cost compared to American WAVs with comparable efficiency. The U.S. Army uses British towed howitzers of 105 and 155 mm caliber. Norwegian NASAMS anti-aircraft missile systems are being purchased in limited quantities. Although it is also difficult to call them completely Norwegian, since American AMRAAM air-to-air missiles are used as anti-aircraft guided missiles. The United States also has Norwegian JSM cruise missiles and NSM anti-ship missiles. But in general, the U.S. armed forces are overwhelmingly equipped with their own weapons. And the total share of American arms exports is significantly ahead of other countries in the world. Although part of this share is paid for by American taxpayers,